Hi friends. So today, if I send all the videos correctly, today should be Friday the 12th, which means I've seen most of you at some point today, or I'm about to see most of you to take your kindergarten picture. So that will make me very happy. So on Fridays I do a picture book read aloud, and I chose this one for a couple of reasons. It's called the Sandcastle Contest, and the first reason I chose it is because summer is just around the corner, and I know my family lots of times likes to go to the Oregon coast to Cannon Beach in the summer, and even though my boys are 15 and 19, they still like to go play in the sand and build, not usually sand castles, but they just build crazy things out of sand. So have you guys ever gone to the beach and built a sandcastle? Maybe some of you have, maybe some of you haven't. But this is about a contest about kids building sandcastles. And it's written by Robert Munsch, who has written lots of other children's books. And the pictures, the illustrator is Michael Marchenko. So here we go, the Sandcastle Contest. Matthew's father stood in the driveway and said, "I think we're ready to go. Let's make sure everything is here. Do we have the bicycles? Yes. Do we have the food? Yes. Do we have the boat? Yes. Do we have everything?" They are taking a lot, aren't they? "No!" yelled Matthew. "No," said his dad. I'm sorry. "No," yelled Matthew. "No," said his dad. Sorry, I have to reorganize a little bit here. There we go. "No," said Matthew. "We don't have a dog." "Dog?" said his dad. "We don't even own a dog." "I know," said Matthew. "Now would be a good time to get a dog." "No dog," said his dad. "Now, do we have everything?" "No," yelled Matthew. "We don't have my sandbox." "Matthew," said his mom, "we can't bring the sandbox, but the first place we camp will have a nice beach, and you will have lots of sand to play with." "Well," said Matthew, "okay." Look at all of that they're taking on their trip, and Matthew actually thought he needed to bring more. It's a lot of stuff. So they drove and drove and drove and drove and drove until they came to a place to camp. Look at how the other campers are looking at the family. They think they've brought just a little bit too much stuff. Matthew jumped out of the van and ran to the beach. He came to a girl making a small sandcastle and a big sand dog. She made this dog out of sand. She said, "Hi, my name is Kalida, and I'm going to win the sandcastle contest." "Wow," said Matthew. "I am going to build a sandcastle too. What can I win?" "You can win a bathtub full of ice cream," said Kalida. "All right," said Matthew. Those are some big sandcastles back there. It's going to be quite the contest. So Matthew made a house with doors and windows and a roof. He dug out the inside of the house so it had rooms just like a real house. He made sand tables and chairs and beds and a TV. Had a sand show on it. That's really creative. Look at all that. Look like squirrels helping him build the sand castle. That is quite a sand house he built. When Matthew was almost done, Kalida came over to look at his house. She had her sand dog on a leash. "Nice sand house," said Kalida. "Really, really nice sand dog," said Matthew. A judge came by and said, "Get this house out of here." Who put this house on the beach?" "This is my sand house," said Matthew. "I made it for the sand contest." "Ha!" said the judge. "I know a real house when I see one, and there are no real houses allowed on the beach." So look back here. You can see this is called the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It looks like the White House. These other kids made sandcastles to look like other buildings, but Matthew's looked so real that the judge thought it was an actual house built on the beach. Then he went inside and sat in a sand chair and watched a sand show on TV. Another judge came by and said, "Get this house out of here. Who put this house on the beach?" "This is my sand house," said Matthew. "I made it for the sand contest." "Ha!" said the judge. "I know a real house when I see one, and there are no real houses allowed on the beach." This is such a good sandcastle house that you can walk inside it. She went into the bedroom and looked at the sand bed. She went into the kitchen, opened the refrigerator, and looked at the sand apples and the sand celery and the sand cartons of milk. Then she said, "Little boy, you've got to get this house off the beach." "This is my sand house," said Matthew, "and I'm going to prove it." "Ha!" said the judges. So Matthew went outside and kicked the sand house right beside the door. It all turned back into an enormous pile of sand and fell on the judges. "Help!" yelled the judges, and everyone came running and dug them out. When the judges were finally out from under the sand, they yelled, "Matthew wins! His sand house was so good that we thought it was a real house. Matthew wins!" Everyone yelled, and they gave him a bathtub full of ice cream. Matthew started eating the ice cream, and he said to Kalida, "Want to help me eat this?" "Yes," said Kalida. While they were eating the ice cream, Matthew said, "How come you didn't tell everybody that your dog is Sand? I bet you would have won with a sand dog." How real her dog looks. "Well," said Kalida, "this is Sandy, my sand dog, and I'm going to take him camping and feed him ice cream every day, and he's going to be my pet, and I am never going to turn him back to sand." "Wow," said Matthew. "I wish I had thought of that. Can you show me how to make one?" "No problem," said Kalida. And Matthew's mom and dad were so happy with Matthew's amazing sand dog that they decided to take it camping. Remember in the very beginning, Matthew wanted to bring a dog that they didn't have, so his problem got solved. He made a dog out of sand. I've built some sand castles, but I've never built any sand dogs or sand houses. Pretty talented kids. Bye, guys.